Rob Warren, the star of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, has made the worst choice of his life by bringing Sophie Sierra into the country via a K-1 visa. Rob, a Los Angeles-based model and aspiring actor, is a cast member in the 8th season of the 90 DS spin-off. Rob was introduced to Sophie through a direct message on Instagram. Since the two clicked right away, Sophie moved from the UK to Los Angeles to live with Rob. Rob was invited to apply for a K-1 visa by Sophie, who thought the two were having a terrific time together. Sophie, however, began to grumble about Rob, his apartment, and other things after moving to the United States. Rob denied any major indiscretions, but Sophie insisted she had seen him cheating on her with someone online. Days before their wedding, Sophie claimed to have looked through Rob's Snapchat and discovered offensive messages, even though she had already forgiven him at the time. Subsequently, Sophie acknowledged that she had forgiven Rob since, in reality, he was not unfaithful. She was always aware of Rob's whereabouts and had access to his location data. Sophie was manipulative in other ways besides just keeping an eye on Rob. In the 90 DS Season 10 opener, Sophie revealed that she was keeping a secret from Rob that might cause their relationship to fail. Even though Sophie was seeing Rob at the time, she didn't see the need to be honest with him. Although Sophie may have always planned to cheat on Rob in retaliation for what he had done to her, she ultimately chose to come clean because of her guilt. Since her first crush on a female at the age of 5, Sophie claimed to have known for sure that she was gay. Sophie had never gone all the way with a woman and had never had a girlfriend. Sophie had wanted to do it prior to being married. When Sophie realized it was time to inform Rob that she was gay, she began to freak out. If their relationship wasn't being videotaped for public consumption, Sophie might not have told Rob. Sophie took pleasure in hiding things from Rob. He began to doubt her capacity for loyalty. Sophie thought Rob would be able to relate to her sexual orientation and yet accept and marry her. She even questioned whether Rob would let her do new things outside from their union. But Sophie didn't feel comfortable with Rob watching videos of random women on Snapchat. After having a dream in which Rob was unfaithful, Sophie claimed to have casually spied on his phone. Sophie claimed that Rob was receiving disgusting videos from other women and that she was aware that she needed to get her belongings and leave him, as well as his home and dog. Sophie acknowledged that by walking away from Rob, she would have to go back to England and not be married. It dawned on her then that being in Los Angeles was more significant. Sophie passed up her luxurious life in Britain to be with her cheating partner in his abandoned home. It's also intriguing to observe how Sophie and Rob split up after moving to Arkansas. Sophie could have desired to establish a career in Los Angeles, but Rob's financial situation prevented that. Sophie, meanwhile, was using a dating app when she initially traveled to America with Rob. Rob was informed by his friend Tori that he had seen Sophie on the Bumble dating app. Rob trusted Sophie, so he didn't let it bother him. Sophie denied using the friends portion of the app and saying he wasn't looking for potential dates when she was confronted. But the fact that Tori saw Sophie's profile indicated that she was actively looking for a male buddy. Also, Sophie seemed uncomfortable meeting her friend Soraya, implying that she was lying to him about how he first met her. Season 8 of Happily Ever After saw more drama for Sophie and Rob. They hadn't improved anything and had even made matters worse by not making any headway with their trust difficulties. Rob and Sophie weren't even cohabiting as a married couple. While they had been living apart for 2 months before they started filming Season 8, Sophie disclosed that they had been together for a few months after moving to Arkansas. Sophie stated that she had checked into Rob's social media accounts once more because she had a second feeling that he was unfaithful to her. The scene was the same as before, but Sophie's relocation appeared to be permanent this time. After a few months of relocating to Arkansas, she had become closest friends with a woman named Kay and had enough faith in her to move in with her. Although Sophie was harmed, she was not sufficiently hurt to return to London. Sophie was going to cheat on Rob again at the appropriate moment because she had already forgiven him earlier for not physically cheating on her. Sophie never disclosed how he got to know Kay. But now that Sophie was in her bed, the camera focused on their undies on the ground, suggesting that they had spent a wild night together. Rob believed Sophie was having an affair with Kay. Rob is quick to draw conclusion, but he too has an intuition about him, much as Sophie had, despite the fact that Sophie is now saying that Kay is not her type and that she has no affections for her. Sophie was cheating on Rob with a lady in real life, while Rob was cheating online. Rob was informed by Sophie that Callum, her friend from England, would be joining them. Sophie wanted Rob to treat Callum with kindness. Having known Callum since she was 14 years old, she described him as her longest friend. Callum was a frequent traveler and had lately informed Sophie that he would be visiting the United States. Rob told Sophie that Callum was coming to see her, but Sophie didn't want to hide this information. She stated that because she had been living with Kay for the entire time, she hadn't informed Rob. Rob ought to try harder with Sophie's friends. Rob said he didn't feel okay about Callum flying across the ocean to visit Sophie. Callum, according to Sophie, wasn't traveling to the United States to see her. When Rob questioned if Callum was ugly, she vehemently denied that he was and maintained that Rob was her type. Happily ever after for the 90-day Fiancé star in the promo for the upcoming episode, Rob is heard admitting that Sophie lied to him and that Callum is a hot dude. Rob is aware that Sophie can let her buddy have him,